Welcome friends, this is Emmy and you are on my Emmy channel. I'm a CZT and a retired teacher and I just love teaching. I won't ever be the best artist you're going to run across, but I do have a very good time and I have a good time teaching. So I hope you enjoy yourself today and every day. And thank you, I mean it, for being here. I appreciate it very much. Today, we're going to be working in our book again, and we are on day 21. Do you believe it? This has been the fastest, most fun month that I've had in a long time. So you've got your supplies, I hope. You've got your blender stump, pencil, and you've got your 01 or 2 or whatever pen you're using, just the best quality you have. I might need a treat today, so I brought a couple. I love kisses. My husband's out working now, but I will get some squeezes and kisses from him later. And I wanted to show you a fun thing that I did for Halloween for a class. I just think you'll enjoy this. This is a Zerly. So obviously based on a girly, but my students had so much fun making her, and isn't she just the cutest? So I hope you like her. And I hope you can make one like it and maybe send me a copy so that I can see how cute yours looks. Anyway, back to our project. Day 21. This is, whoops, what am I doing in here? Oh, Emmy. I got so excited. All right, here we are. Maggie May. And it's by Dolly Bolens. She has done a ton of patterns. Here's her site. She gives step outs to all of them. And she is a lot of fun to follow and see what she's doing. Hopefully you can read my writing. Bolens, I'm pretty sure it says bolenssurvivalinc.ca. So if you have a chance, look her up and see if you might like some. I'm going to divide my paper in half, because this is a huge pattern. It's a standalone pattern, which means to say that it could be a medallion, or it should go in a big place by itself with maybe an oval around it or something. Anyway, so let's get started. I don't even need to go to pencil. I'm going to go right to pen, and I'm going to make what's known as a printemps in the middle. That's a Zentangle word for this spiral, which means spring in French. So I make a spiral to start with. Off of the spiral, I'm going to put to the north and the south, I'm going to put what I would call a seed or a candle light. And I'm going to go to the south as well. And then I'm going to go east. No, I'm not going to go east and west because I want to end up with 6 on this particular one. We're really just making a mandala, which I think you will find to be a lot of fun. I need a little space between each of these candle lights. And don't worry about it if they're not quite centered to each other. This is a big pattern, and on mandalas, nobody notices. Within the light or the seed, I'd like you to put a small orb or a smaller seed. This pattern is a tribute that Dolly says that she made to her daughter. And the rest of the story you can find in the article that she wrote about it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come around here and I'm going to make a line that mirrors and then a line that mirrors in the other direction. Do this all the way around. A line that mirrors and a second, but don't connect them at the top. So they have a bit of a curve as you've noticed. So the next thing I want to do is I want to take each of these and I'm going to put a line across it, kind of on a curve of a line. And then following that, I'm going to take this nice and easy up and back down. So take a curvy line across and another line up and back down. Do this again. Curve, close your triangle, and make another line across. Close your triangle, make another line across. How do you like it so far? I think this is a very fun mandala, very easy to do because you don't need any rulers or anything like that. Just easy. Okay, and it's very forgiving. For instance, what I did here for an embellishment is I went ahead and put just three prongs in here. Just to me seemed to need it, but do you have to do that? No. It's just an embellishment. Didn't even have that on the original pattern. I just like the look of it. Divide it in half and then off each side. Now, if you wanted, you could certainly do more with that, right? Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come along here between these from the top of this, maybe halfway up. No, I'm not. First, I think I better do this. I'm going to come along and do an aura all the way around. Just aura all of the steps that I did. Thank you for working with me on that. Now, this looks a little wonky. Don't worry about that. No one's going to notice, including you, in a half an hour. But this is our practice, remember. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to make a longish stick and connect it like a triangle. Then I'm going to make another one on top of it. And I'm going to do that on each of the sides, and hence you can see now the mandala. And you can see it appearing. Is it fun so far? I hope you're enjoying this. So the next thing she does, Dolly suggests, is that you hop from this one to this one, and you hop in a way that goes across the top here like this. So that's a very lazy S, I would say. And then bring another lazy S and connect it. And when I did this pattern, I put a second one in here. You don't have to do that. I just thought it was kind of cool. I'll show you my sample soon. Okay, so from this one to the top of this one, and it's going to go right over this one here at the middle triangle. Up and across. Take your time, pause me wherever you need to. Okay, I'm going to go from this one to this one, and I'm aiming for that dot that I put there. And I don't want it to be too substantial, but I do want to see it. Aim for that dot. Aim for the dot. Kind of a bit like an onion dome, don't you think? Okay, this dot and here, and aim for this. And then put an aura. To close. The top of this one and the top of this one, and aim for this one in the middle that's right above that triangle. And aura. Last one already, do you believe it? Okay, so we're starting on one side, going to the other, and aiming to the middle. Just a big S, big lazy S, big lazy S the other direction. Aura. And close. So there's all sorts of fun things you could do within this pattern, but I quite like the look of it. I hope you do too. And of course, when we do our final one, we're going to like it even better, aren't we? Because now we've practiced once. So let me show you an idea of what I did with mine. I had a lot more time to take, so of course I did, but this is the pattern Maggie May by Dolly Bolens. And let's get our sweet books out. It does get a little mixed up sometimes. It's got so many cool things going on here. Thank you for working with me. You know I appreciate it. And I really want to do this in this area. That means it's going to almost have to be a mini, right? So grab your piece of candy. You're going to want a little bit of a snack, I think. Anyway, I can't have it right now, but I'll have it right after we leave each other today. So begin with the spiral. And tie the spiral off. Remember, all we're doing is replicating the pattern we already did together. The next thing I'm going to do is start on each end. If you want to mark these off right now before we even get started, you see what I'm doing? I'm putting a very small dot to help me figure out where to come off and where to land. And then I want to come out here. So if you want, again, to put a small dot to aim for, I'm going to put a seed on each end. And I'm going to put a seed on each side down here. And then I'm going to put a seed here. And over here. And then 2 more seeds, so that I end up with a total of 6 seeds. Isn't that sweet? It's just sweet so far. Now I'm going to put a smallish seed in the middle. And if you wanted, you can darken it. But this seed replicates exactly the bigger seed on the outside. This pattern has a lot, just like any mandala, a lot of repetition and a lot of forgiveness. So have fun with it. Don't be hard on yourself. Just enjoy the process. So the next thing you remember is we make 2 parts of a triangle. And we're going to take it from here. Make our triangle go out like that. Aura on the other side too. And do this all the way around. Aura. Aura. Don't close. Don't close it. Don't close your triangle. Aura. And again. If you like mandalas, I'm sure that you love this pattern. It is such a mandala. And now that I've done this, our next step, remember, is to close the triangle like that. And then I'm gonna, and it's best if I have that in front of me because I want this one to go up. But it's not a tight circle or closing. Close that on an angle. Lazy up and down. Do it again. Close your triangle. From this point, go to the other side. Close the triangle. Up. Do it again. Close the triangle. Up and across. That one got a little wonky, but again, I just don't think anybody's in a mandala, no one will notice, including yourself in about half hour. Okay, you do not have to do that treatment that I showed you before. This one, you don't have to do that. I just like the look of it. In fact, you don't have to close these either. I just like the look of it. So that's entirely personal preference. So I will not, well, this is my final and I guess I want to. So I'm going to divide it in half and I like to put a dot at the top. Divide it in half, put a dot, and again. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Dot, dot, and dot. Turn, divide it in half, and then again in thirds. Divide it in half and thirds. Divide it in half, thirds. And didn't that go fast? Divide it in half and thirds. Woohoo! I love this pattern. Okay, the next step we're going to do is we're going to put an aura around the whole thing. So we're going to follow the lines we've already made. We're going to take our time. Going to lift our pen whenever we need to. Now, if you know where you're going, you're welcome to go ahead of me on this too. Remember that, it's always a possibility. And just like that. So the next step we're going to do is just like any mandala, there's always repetition at every level. The next repetition that we're going to do is we're going to come off about halfway up. So if you want to mark it, go ahead and mark dot and then a dot to aim for. So I'm going to divide this in half and then a triangle off of it. And then I'm going to come around here one more time with an aura. Okay, so from the middle, dot. And then a dots to aim for on each side. Slow and steady wins the race. And then aura. Work in front of you wins the race, actually. Halfway up, put a dot, and then a dot to aim for. Doesn't have to be real dark. I'm sure you can see what I got going here. And then an aura. Dot, and a dot of what you want to aim for. And aura. I will speed up just a little tiny bit on these last two because I know you know where you're going. Gosh, this is so pretty. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go around this triangle. And what I did on this, and I quite like it, is on each one, I darkened one side. Now, if you want to do that with me, take a second, just make sure it's the same side, right? So darken. Enjoy this. If you need a bigger pencil or pen, go for it. Just take your time. Zentangle is very meditative and meant to be relaxing, not stressful. So relax your shoulders if they're not already relaxed. Now, the next and last step, we're going to start on this dot over here, and that, they're two humps, and we're going to go around. And remember what we're going to do. We're going to go around like a big S. For me, it's a lot easier for me to go on the other direction. So I'm aiming. Yep, I'm going to go out. I've got my dot. I'm going to go out and back in from each hump and back to the middle, which quite replicates this one in here. And then I'm going to aura that. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to have a dot there and a dot there and something to aim for up there. Relax your shoulders. Have your peppermint if you want it. Going right up here. Do it again. Aim for here. This is I'm gonna have to lift my pen on this one here and go underneath. I think that's quite lovely. Now, our project is done except for shading. Look what I did here. I just think this is so cool, and it only takes like a minute or maybe less even. So if you want to do that, it would be really fun. So if you want to take the time to do that, go ahead. But all you have to do is go down each side with these wide-ish dots because this is very small. It just is pretty. So again, if you want to add this little treatment embellishment, it just makes it seem so finished to me. Just take your time. I always like to start at the top. Here's another one. That one's totally hidden. I can't do that. There's something about doing this treatment that everybody just loves. They love the look of it. So I can't help myself. Not a ton of shading to do on something like this, but grab your pencil. Where I want to shade is around this area here. For sure. I want that to pop up off the page. Now, we've talked about this before, that shading is in the eye of the beholder. So you can't get this wrong. If you decide, well, I don't agree with her, I want my shading to be in a different spot, please know that you will see it in a lot of different spots, depending on who you work with and who you talk to. I want to go around the outside of that printemps that I did at the beginning. And then I want to go around this triangle here. I am trying to get close to my work, and my pencil is super sharp, which really helps me get close to my work. And you can see I want to have my pencil on the side, and I want to have it radiating in so that I lay the graphite exactly where I want it and nowhere else. Now, there's certainly more I could do, but that's really what I see. The only thing I see that I really feel like I should do is this. These need to be drama. These need to be darkened. So this is an entire mandala that you just did. Grab your blender stump. Make this pop off the page. Come out here to the triangle that you had. Make that pop off the page. And you can see I'm not pushing, I'm just pushing it. I'm not pushing it, spreading it out. I'm just diffusing my shading. I hope that makes sense to you. I don't really want to have it go into the white too far on this project here. There. Isn't it pretty? Now, I have enough shading here, I believe, to put a little bit of darkening in this little triangle area that I have here. That's just what's left over. Use an eraser anytime you need to. I keep it handy. I don't really feel I use it very much anymore, and I hope you don't need it either. Oh my gosh, isn't this pretty? I know this is your book of many things, but I'm going to put my signature on there, my chop. I hope you like it. I do too. Okay, if you would, please like the video. It helps me so much to know I'm on track. It means a lot to me. I'm Emmy, and you're on Zen with Emmy. And if you wouldn't mind, please share this with somebody so that they can do this fun mandala too. Thanks again for being here. Bye.